It is time to let it all go. And we're going to break that down right now. Short story for you first, okay? Stick around. So, maybe 2 weeks ago, something like that, I finally bought some new underwear. I know. My old ones had been falling apart for probably like 3, 4 years now, right? And they were just, you know what happens when you kept them for a little bit longer than you should have. You probably got to pay it right now, right? And I just kept putting off replacing them. And then, like I said, I finally found some that I liked. I got them home. I was like, all right, great. I washed them all. And like all last week, I had been wearing these brand new underwear. And they felt good. I felt like I looked nice and all, everything. So, whatever. Last night, I ended up going for a shower, right? And without even thinking about it, I went in and I grabbed an old pair of these underwear instead. Like I said, didn't even pay too much attention to it at the time. But then this morning, as I go to the bathroom, right, I look down and I'm like, there go them strings hanging off. The fabric is just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. You know, like I said, they've been falling apart for years now, and I just put them back on like nothing happened. So then it hit me, right? Mid wake up still, right? I have been telling myself just one more wear, for I don't even know how long. And I was telling myself this, I guess, in that moment too, like without even realizing it, even though I knew I had something better. And here's the thing, right? This is why I'm bringing it to you today. It's not really about the underwear. This is a pattern that I used to run in many, many places in my life. And once you start to see it, you can't unsee it. So think about relationships, right? You know that moment where it's like, all right, clearly this is not working anymore, right? Everything is shifted. Y'all ain't acting right together no more, right? And instead of just saying, all right, hey, I'm going to put an end to this, what happens? You tell yourself, just one more month, right? Let's see how things go by the holidays. Let's make it through the holidays, see how things go next. Or maybe the next trip, right? Same thing happens with jobs. Someone who knows they've outgrown their role, and this happened to me as well, knowing the culture is draining you, knowing that you're not being paid what you're worth there, right? But instead of, again, taking the step, taking the action, you say, well, there's always next year, maybe after my next bonus. Bonus season come around. I'm gonna need that check first, right? Or after this next promotion cycle, let's see if they pick me, right? And then that next year, that next bonus cycle, whatever, it turns into 3 years, 5 years, and oftentimes much longer than that, to where that version of you who wanted to leave in the first place barely can even recognize the person that's still sitting there at that desk. This goes on too in your health, right? Now this one is the real brutal one here, because it's so easy to happen. It happens so quietly. You think, one more drink tonight, tonight will be the last night. Or I'll start that diet on Monday. Or you know what? I'm gonna go back to the gym, everything after everything settles down this week. It's kind of crazy going on right now. And there's always this new week. There's always this new thing that you keep pushing it off. Nobody wakes up one day and decides to feel awful. It happens one skipped workout, one late night at a time, one bargain at a time. And what all three of these things really have in common is that the bargain always feels so reasonable in the moment, right? It's like, it's fine. That's what it feels like. And that's what makes it so sneaky. It's never a big dramatic decision to stay stuck, right? It's hundreds or perhaps even thousands of these little harmless ones. They feel so harmless individually, but over time they add up, they compound. And then one day you wake up and you're like, the person's still wearing those same underwear that's been falling apart for years now. You know, you're like, I don't even know who I am. I don't even know how we got here. I don't even know what's going on. And it shows up so much so in your relationships, your career, your body, so many different avenues in life. So last night, okay, I was in the shower and I was listening to this audiobook I've been listening to for a minute now by Sadhguru. And he was talking about how clutter isn't just physical. Every attachment that we're holding on to, every old belief, every relationship we haven't fully released yet, every version of ourselves that we're just still dragging those things around. And all that, all those little pieces are clutter too. And it doesn't just, sit quietly in a corner somewhere, right? All the little pieces, they don't sit over there in a corner, like out of the way. It actually clogs your pathway. It clogs every single decision that you make every day, even if you don't realize everything is being filtered by it consciously. Then he took it even a little bit deeper into karma, right? And I'm not talking about the version of karma where, something bad happens, so something bad is going to happen to you. That's a more overview, flattened version of it. What he was talking about was karmic ties. The things that we're carrying that aren't even ours, and oftentimes aren't even ours to begin with. And I'm talking about like patterns that have been passed down by our parents or grandparents, the people who came before us, long before we even showed up. Some of it actually is encoded into our DNA as well. Especially it shows up in our nervous system, how we respond to things, how we cope, how we make sense of things and survive, right? Now, some of these things might have made sense for someone generations back, but they don't actually belong to us anymore. It's not ours. Like that old thing doesn't work. So here's a part to really, sit with. None of that just clears by understanding it intellectually, right? You can know exactly, where a pattern came from. You can name it. You can journal about it. You can talk about it in therapy for years. And still, it's still there. Like this lingering thing is still there. It clears when you actually let go of it. When you do something different with your hands, your choices, not just in your head. So the question you're asking now is, how do you actually break it? How do I break it, right? How do I break this cycle? Well, you stop bargaining with yourself. You just decide and you stick with your decision. Now, that sounds simple, right? And honestly, it actually is simple, but it ain't always easy because your mind is literally wired to negotiate. It wants the exception. Your brain is searching at all times for the loophole. Okay? And it's not a character flaw. This is just the way we build. That's just what minds do. They look for the path of least resistance. So in the moment, although it's looking for the path, the easiest thing, it doesn't really care in that moment. Like it's not here to care that down the line it's going to cost you more later. So here is a practical way to catch it. The next time you hear yourself say, just one more time, pause and ask yourself, would I make this same decision if I'd never made it before? If today was the first time you were choosing whether to say yes to that, job or that relationship or pour that drink, would you still say yes? Because if the answer is no, you're not actually choosing anymore, are you? You're just repeating some momentum. And repeating momentum, it feels like safety, but it's not. It's just familiar. And now familiar and safe are, again, they're not the same thing. That old shredded underwear is proof. Familiar, right? Was actively falling apart the entire time. I'll give you another quick version of this for myself. For a while, cutting out like certain sweets and snacks felt impossible, right? Because every time I walked down the aisle in a grocery store, I'd see it and I'd just be like, all right, one more time, like, oh, this will be the last time I have this thing, right? So I grab it. And then I stopped trying to force my way through it. I decided to do something different. I just started avoiding, those aisles altogether. Deciding to stick to, the outer edges of the store where more of the fresh things lie, right? And, that's not willpower. It was just me removing myself from the negotiation completely, right? The negotiation of should I not, should I not. So push past forward years later now, I could actually go down those very aisles, Maybe if I need a shortcut because, people are in the way and I just need to take me and my cart down this way, right? And I can go down that aisle and feel nothing. No pull, no want, none of those old feelings that used to just grip me in the moment. Maybe I should do it. It just doesn't have the same effect over me anymore. And that is exactly what practice does. That's what taking action actually does. Versus just thinking about it one day. Thinking really is where this whole recognition starts. But thinking alone, if you just sit there and think all day, you're just going to stay stuck in a loop. It's in the doing things, putting your hands to action, your body, moving towards something different that actually changes you. So this song, right? Bag Lady by Erykah Badu. Okay, she's singing about a woman who's been, carrying so many bags, she could barely walk. These things is packed full of stuff, weighing her down. Basically she's moving in slow motion because she refuses to just put it all down. She hurt her back, right? The whole song is basically, girl, you're gonna have to let that thing go. It's too heavy. You're moving too slow. And that's what this is, right? Every unmade decision, every relationship you've outgrown, every story you keep telling yourself about who you are, that's a bag. And no one is going to take it off your shoulders for you. Only you, you know what I'm saying? Like Smokey the Bear, only you can fight forest fires. Only you get to decide when you put it down. And you don't have to wait 10 years to feel the full weight of it all. You can, to finally, act. You can put it down right now. I'm talking about right now, today. Whatever that thing is for you, you can put it down today. So I want you to think about one thing, right? One place, one area of your life where you've been bargaining with yourself. One more time, one more day. It's fine, it's fine. And I want you to just decide, put it down. That's it. And if you're sitting here thinking, bruh, listen, you know, Destiny, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even know where to start. That is exactly why we built our 7-day reset. And it's not just like a series of, oh, you're going to get 7 emails, you know, that you skim through and you forget. It's a real course. It comes with a book, daily activities and coursework that you can do, as well as bonuses every single day to get you practicing. And it walks you through, you know, what's actually happening in your body, in your mind, with your emotions. So you can finally see, you know, all these things you've been carrying for so long and have the tools to actually start releasing it. So, cool thing is here, you don't even have to wait for some cohort date, right? You don't need a start date. You know, you can do it on your own time. You can begin today. The link is right below this video. Go ahead, check it out now before this energy dissipates. Again, my name is Destiny. Thank you so much for tuning in for yourself again today, tuning in with me again today. And I'll see you next time. Peace.